I can get really the heart of what we wanted to talk about and the inspirational part of the call, which is never give up. I had told Michael that I wanted to have a call, and we don't probably don't do this enough, but is is really talk about um, having the heart of a champion and what it really takes to get going in this business. So. Um, Michael, if you don't mind, what I'll do is let me allow you to kind of get your thoughts together,
Okay.
and I'm going to go ahead and talk just a little bit, and then feel free to to add in or if you'd like to contribute while I'm talking. But
Okay.
I just want to talk about a little bit about my not necessarily my personal story, but um, just about some of the things that I've gone through in this business. And I can tell you this, guys, it hasn't always been easy. I initially got licensed back in 2009. Michael, I'm still getting that like a squeaking
It may
noise.
be my headset, Joe. Let me cut my headset off and see if we can work it that way. Maybe
Oh,
it's my
okay,
Bluetooth.
okay.
1 minute, sir. I
Yeah,
apologize.
it does sound a little bit like feedback, but
How about that, Joe? Is that better?
oh, that's much better, man.
Okay, great. That was my headset. I apologize.
No, no worries, man. So let me I'm sorry, it was hard for me to focus with that squeaking noise going on. Guys, let me allow me to continue. What I was saying is that, I'd gotten licensed back in 2009. Um, First time ever, venturing into being an independent contractor, self-employed, however you want to say it. Had always been an employee, although most of my life my employment had been pretty much 100% commission. I was still always working in kind of a corporate environment, if you will, and I guess I had that false sense of security of having that safety net. And I think that's sometimes, Michael, with people transitioning from having a job
Yes.
and going into the world of entrepreneurship and self-employment, is that we kind of there's this illusion is that when we're working for what we think is a big company, is that we have this kind of false sense of security.
Yes,
And
sir.
what I found out is after, being downsized from one job, a job that I thought like that was my job, like I was going to be doing this for the rest of my life, and then getting downsized in 2008, and then transitioning back into another industry that I was very familiar with, and then having that business virtually go out of business and looking for a job. That's really when I found the world of insurance, and that's when it really clicked to me is that there really is no job security unless you own your job.
Correct.
And that's what we get here. That's what we're allowed to do as entrepreneurs, as individual business owners, is that we have the best job security of all time. And what I love about our business is virtually how predictable that it is. That I know that I can go out in any certain day, any certain week, and I can earn two, three, four, $5,000 a week based on my own ability. Because let me tell everybody on this call something that you already know, okay? And the fact is that the world is not all sunshine and rainbows. There's not a bunch of unicorns running around. That life can be tough. Life can punch you right in the face, and sometimes life can try to keep you down. But here's what I know is that our success in life, it's not about getting lucky. It's not about hitting the lottery ticket. Your Michael, your success, my success, everyone's success on this call is it's more about how we are able to handle adversity.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think it was the fictional character Rocky Balboa that said, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep coming back.
Yes.
And that's, we kind of, you kind of have to, in order to really make it in this business, you kind of have to have the heart, of a fighter, and be able to get punched in the gut, but have the tenacity to get back up every single time. And I think one thing that I see that differentiates people with different levels of success, a lot of times it is about how they handle adversity. Do you go on an appointment or two and you get your teeth kicked in and you quit, or you get a batch of crappy leads that just aren't any good? Do you quit? No. You got to be able to handle the adversity and just know that if you persevere, that good things are going to happen.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times it's easy for us to look, we look at these big big income earners, these big CEOs of these major companies that keep getting these bad raps about, oh, how much money they earn, and they don't deserve to earn that much money. Bull crap. Of course they deserve to earn that much money, because the reason why they're earning the money that they're earning is because they've adapted and they've realized how to handle adversity. The people that don't make a lot of money in life, Michael, those are the people that want everything to be sunshine and rainbows. It's like, oh, I don't want to handle any adversity or confrontation. No, guys, it's the opposite. Have God bless you with big problems, because
Yes.
what I can tell you is that in life, in the real world, the bigger the problems you can handle, the bigger your paychecks will be. If you only want to get through this world and you don't want to ever have any adversity in your life, you can probably do that. But you will never earn a lot of money. Embrace adversity. Learn how to handle it. And I can tell you this, man, there were plenty of times, Michael, early in my career that I considered like throwing in a towel, like, having a bad day, having a bad week, catching some bad breaks, and just like, and this was, and what I'm saying is like early in my career,
Yes.
like, and and I can remember times my wife even saying, Joe, just why don't you just go get a job?
Yes. We've
And
all
it's
been
just,
told that one.
oh my goodness, she does. Thank God she doesn't say that anymore, right? But there was a lot of times it was just like, what are you doing to yourself? Just go get a job. But I thought to myself, I don't want a job. I don't want to put my what I don't here at the end of the day, I didn't want to give up on my dream.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing is that remember here's the one thing I know, as tough as we think we got it, and we may have a bad week in the field, we may have a bad day, we may even have a bad month, but here's what I will really tell you. You may have a bad day, you may have a bad week, but if you consistently do the right thing, if you have good work ethic, and you have fresh leads, if you have fresh prospects coming in every week, you will never have a bad month. You will only have a bad month is if you give up. If you don't continue to fight, that's the only time that you will have a bad month. If you stay true to yourself and keep working your leads, keep working the system, if you're dedicated to prospecting, and that's the one thing about this business, Michael, is that, and I'm guilty of it too, is that I think a lot of agents underestimate the amount of prospecting that we have to do.
Right.
Even though I may be purchasing leads on a weekly basis, those leads don't go out and sell themselves.
No.
It's up to me to go out and meet with every single client and to work every single lead. That's what the true professional does, is that they work hard every single day. And if you do it every single day, if you're relentless, then I promise you, you will never have a bad month. The caveat is that obviously you got to have fresh people to go see. You can't have 10 leads and try to go see those same 10 leads
Yes.
every day of the week. That will not work. But here's the one thing I just want to press upon you, is that just remember, as tough as you think you might have it, guys, there are people out in the world that have it 10 times, maybe even 100 times worse than you got it. Just think about how thankful we should be, and just how blessed we should be that we are in the United States of America, the land of opportunity, where we have the ability to go out and fail as many times as that we want, that we have that opportunity, that we can keep going out and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and stay true to ourselves. Michael, did you by chance I want to caveat to a different subject. Did you by chance, and it's an old movie, but did you ever see the movie The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith?
I did. The man was living in a homeless shelter. Every day he'd have to get there at 4:30 to make sure he would get his place, but the man was selling stocks. No one even realized that he was homeless. It was a very inspirational movie, and really very applicable to what we're talking about right here. They just kept scratching and pushing forward and being persistent until the dam broke.
Exactly. The character that Will Smith played with was Chris Gardner, who's actually from Milwaukee. And I think what took him to San Francisco, I think he was in the Navy and then got out, and that's how he lives in Chicago now, but actually had a chance to meet Chris Gardner back in 2011.
Wow.
With a different IMO. He was going to be a guest speaker at one of our meetings, and we had a chance to go down to his office on North Wabash down there in the financial district. When I see you here in a couple of days, I'll show you some pictures of that meeting.
That would be amazing.
Pretty cool, man. Very very neat guy. The one thing that I'm just telling you this, and this is going back, what was that, 7 years ago, that I had a chance to meet him, is that the one thing that he said in that meeting that still resonates with me today is that he told everyone in that meeting is to never give up on your dreams. Is that in the movie he talks about protecting your dreams, never letting anyone tell you that it cannot be done, is that you have to protect your dream, and that you never ever give up on your dreams. The other thing that he mentioned, that you just talked about, is that the struggles that we're having now, the struggles in our life, are only temporary.
Yes.
And this hit me really, 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 really hard, is that he said that the struggles are only temporary. Your struggles will go away if you stay true to your dreams and you persevere. But if you quit and you give up, that you have to live with that for the rest of your life.
I know. So when they survey older people, their biggest regrets is not what they did, is what they did not do. And that is very consistent as they survey seniors over 70 years old. Their biggest regrets are the chances they didn't take in life. So they'll be one of those individuals.
You know what? At the end, Brian, how many times have you heard Brian McCann say, just go for it?
Yes.
You know, I can't say it in his Brooklyn accent, but I like the way he's.
We know Nike. That is their, Nike shoe company is just do it.
Yeah.
You got it. And that's what we find, ladies and gentlemen. We always call it sort of the 3 A's of success: is attitude, aptitude, and action. But in this business, it's almost backwards. It's almost like playing golf or tennis. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll learn, we could do as much classroom training on golf or tennis. You can have the right attitude, but until you get on the course or out on the course, you're never going to know if you're going to be successful. And Zig Ziglar always said something, Joe, and about never giving up. The biggest enemy of perseverance, persistency, is paralysis by analysis. You
Yeah.
just got to go for it. You got to take action. The learning comes in the taking action. You'll have a whole new set of questions once you take that action right there. But most people are so petrified of taking the action, they never do it. Then they get to their end of their life with regret. You never want to have regret in your life, and that's why the action is so important. The attitude and aptitude is there, and I promise you, Senior Solutions can give you that in great abundance from our website. But the taking action is on you, because we just can't believe and invest in you more than you believe in investing in yourself. And someone who doesn't want to give up, Joe, you can correct me. The last time I checked, Senior Solutions has a 100% success rate with people who don't give up.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And isn't that the key to everything, is just not quitting?
Yes.
I mean, is not giving up, is anything is possible unless you think it's not. Okay. By the way, that's not my quote. That's Muhammad Ali's quote.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali said, nothing is impossible unless you think it is. And that was in 1964, right before he defeated Sonny Liston, when
Wow.
everyone said that Sonny Liston was invincible and that it was impossible for him to be beat. But you got to be, you just have to stay positive. The other thing too is you have to have confidence too. So don't get confidence confused with cockiness.
Yes.
Okay. Muhammad Ali said he was the greatest before everyone else did, and that not everyone is in agreement that he was the greatest, but he believed in himself and he believed that he was the greatest before anyone else did. And just like what you just said, man, you got to believe in yourself. I mean, I believe that everyone on this call, has greatness within you, is because we were all created by the same God,
Yes.
and that we all can do it. But at the end of the day, we truly have to believe. We got to believe in ourselves, and we can't stop running. Whatever your dream is, you can't stop running towards it. You just have to
Right.
keep going, staying persistent. And I would just ask everybody on this call today, everyone that's listening to these words, is that just make a commitment to yourself today, is that you're not going to stop running towards your dream, is that you're not going to give up, you're not going to quit. And I know this from personal experience, is that if you keep doing the right thing long enough, that good things will happen. And your dreams will come true, provided that you stay focused and keep your dreams in front of you. Write it down. That's why it's so important to write your goals down and to have those goals in front of you every single day, and take a look at them. And Michael, you're right. I mean, our success rate is 100% for those that stay in the game.
Yes.
But you can't do it halfway. Like, you got to do it. We said this before, is that you got to go for it.
You got to be all
do
in.
it 100%. You can't do it 50%. You can't follow the system and not have people to go see and not have leads. Just like you can't invest in leads, but then not have a system to go run them.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. So, Michael, let me turn it over to you just for a minute. I know you have some thoughts that you want to share.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you a fact here. You're either building your dreams, or you're building someone else's dreams. And all of us on this phone who have been in corporate America, who have sat in the hour-and-a-half commute on I-55 or I-80 or I-290 into Chicago or Houston or Dallas or Atlanta, we all know what it's like to build someone else's dreams, and just how unsatisfying, how unfulfilling it is, Joe. What we're offering you here, ladies and gentlemen, is the ability to build your dreams. And just never forget, your dreams are really made up of three different things. God's only really given us three things to dream with in this world, and that is our time, our flexibility, and our money. We always think about money, But how would you like to have more time to watch your daughter's tennis match, or go to your grandson's first birthday? Those are part of our dreams as well, to have that free time and that flexibility, etc. So the first thing you've got to figure out is, do I want to build someone else's dreams, or do I want to build my dreams? Because it is a fact. You're doing one of those right now, one or the other right here. What we're giving you an opportunity here at Senior Solutions is to be a part of a process. As I talk to agents nationwide, Joe, everyone talks about the various IMOs and their programs. We want to separate the word from program and process. Here at Senior Solutions, we're willing to be committed to the process with you, because this doesn't happen overnight. Joe, I was always told that there's really 3 keys to never really giving up, especially as a final expense agent. Number 1, you've got to know who you are as a final expense agent. You're not just an independent contractor, someone who owns their own business. You're a professional. And like a doctor, and you're like a doctor and you're like a lawyer. So, Joe, when you ask the doctor what they do, if you ask the lawyer what they do, they don't say, I'm a doctor or a lawyer. What do they say, Joe? They say, I practice medicine.
Right.
Or practice law. And you don't expect a first-year med student to come out of med school and do an open heart surgery. Lord help, I'd be petrified for them to do that on me. The same thing here, ladies and gentlemen. You're involved in not a program, but a process. Does Senior Solutions have a program? You better believe it. But it's the process that makes you successful here, and going through that process and practicing. And practice makes perfect. But there's another thing you need to realize as well. And one thing, Joe, we love self-employment. I think entrepreneurs are put up on pedestals. There are these great men that just overnight became successful. But ladies and gentlemen, and Joe's going to definitely second this right here, there's another fact that you need to accept as well. Why are a lot of people very successful? Because they learned how to master the mundane. Last time I checked, my dentist, Joe, does the root canal the same way each time. I'm hoping my doctor does the open heart surgery the same way each time. I want him to be boring. I want him to follow the system. The same thing in this business as you're going through the process. Yes, the people are going to be different. You're going to go see, but you're going to have to master some of the mundane as you're practicing here in final expense as well. And you need to be ready for that. And the way you really do that, Joe, is I sort of tell people you sort of master the 3 C's. First of all, you need to have a conviction that, hey, I don't want my family just to live a middle-class life. I don't want to get to the end of my life and not be able to give back to my family. I don't want to be able to tell my daughter no when she wants to go to this special college or something. You got to have a conviction that your family deserves better. And conviction comes from the heart. A lot of times, Joe, we use the word passion. As I'm interviewing people, Joe, I always ask, do you have a passion for seniors and the low to low middle income? Do you have a passion for helping them? Because if you don't get into this business. Because if you don't, it'll become a grind and you'll burn out. Passion, conviction, then, ladies and gentlemen, leads to commitment. Are you all in? As me and Joe just said, we're willing to invest and commit to you as much as you're willing to invest and commit in yourself. And then that conviction and that commitment eventually leads to the big word that Joe used, which is confidence. Because when you're at that door, that senior can tell if you know what you're talking about. They can tell if you have the conviction and the confidence. And Joe, that leads to the 4th C word, which is comfort. They'll feel comfortable doing business with you. So first and foremost, you've got to know who you are. You're a professional now, controlling your own time, flexibility, and your resources. You've got to know your why. Why am I doing that? I think, was it Viktor Frankl, Joe, the guy that was in the Nazi concentration camp, said that you can achieve any what if you have a big enough why. So You've got to do those things, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to have the conviction. Senior Solutions cannot give you that conviction. We can't give you that passion to make a better life with your family. We also can't make you commit, but Senior Solutions does promise you something. If you give us 100%, Senior Solutions is going to give you 110%. We're going to meet you where you are with that conviction, that commitment, and that confidence, and we're going to take you to the next level. So you always need to remember in life, we're so conditioned, Joe, to using the F word. And there's a lot of F words out there, but the F word we're talking about is failure. We learned that in school. I want everybody on this phone to remove the word failure and put in 2 new words, learning experience. In life, you either win or you learn. You have a learning experience. So this is a process. Yes, Senior Solutions has a program, but more importantly, what makes Senior Solutions so different from any other IMO out there, we have a process. And as we always say here at Senior Solutions, you're in business for yourself, just not by yourself. Senior Solutions is there every step of the way for those people who are convicted and who are committed. Back to you, Joe.
Awesome, awesome. Just to echo off what you were saying, Michael, is that the guys, the system that we put in place, trust me, I promise you, it works. It only works if you do it from A to Z. You can't do it 50%. You got to do it 100%. And I can tell you this is that there are no overnight successes. The people that you see that come in and they rise to the top, it looks like they're virtually rising to the top of the leaderboard. I promise you, they're not overnight successes. They've been working at their craft for years and years and years and years. Sometimes we hire a new agent and we call them, oh my God, this guy's an overnight success. They went from 0 to being on top of the leaderboard. What we didn't see is the 20 years of work that they put in before they got here. Okay, it's like the iceberg. What do they say? You only see 10% of the iceberg. 90% of it is below the water. Sometimes it happens when we bring in a new person, is that we see the success. We don't see all the perseverance and all the hard work that goes in to doing this business. And I can tell you this, I believe in everybody that's on this call today. In fact, I probably believe in you more than you believe in yourself, because I can reflect back to when I got started in 2009, is that I was a hot mess. Especially when I got started in the final expense business. My first exposure to insurance was in the doing primarily mortgage protection. It was just so tough to get leads. I mean, no one, the end of 2008, 2009, even 2010, there just wasn't that much data out there. And I got tired of working these old, rework leads and recycled leads and people that had gotten mortgages 4 or 5 years ago, back when the mortgage, business was hot. And then the company that I was working with came out with final expense leads. I had never heard of them before. I didn't know what a final expense lead was, and they explained it that these are, seniors looking for the end of life thing. And the company I was with, we didn't have any training on final expense because we weren't a final expense company. And guys, I got to tell you, man, I failed miserably. Or I should say, Michael, what was you said? There's replace failure with learning experience?
Yeah, you had many learning experiences.
I had many, many learning experiences to the point where I was ready to quit. There were some, I guess we call them overflows. There was I remember the county. It was Tazewell County, Illinois, which is down by Peoria. There was like 19 leads in that county, all final expense. I purchased them. Guys, I'm telling you, man, the booking of appointments, it was like super easy. I thought I was shooting fish in a barrel. Like I was booking an appointment with everybody I talked to. I'm pretty good on the phone, but I was horrible in the home. I mean, I sucked at it. I didn't sell, of those 19 leads, I didn't sell one appointment. And at that point in time, I thought to myself, I either need I'm either going to get bitter or get better. And I decided to get better and really started, that's when 2010, Michael, so it was 9 years ago. That's when I really started honing my craft on final expenses. And that's when I decided I'm going to be a final expense agent, 2010. Yeah. And, really developed a platform, and it has evolved over the last 9 years. But, what I had to figure out is like how to communicate and why is it that the final expense client, why is that sale so different than the mortgage protection sale? And what I found out is that the mortgage protection sale was to me, it was a much more transactional type setup, much more
Yes.
transactional type business versus the final expense.
Oh my.
Man, much more emotional. I mean, these are people in their typically, 60s and 70s, and they're already in the checkout lane. I mean, they
Yes.
know that their time is near, so it was much different. So when you look at how we do things here at Senior Solutions, just keep in mind is that this whole sales process is something that has evolved since 2010. And we're and it's really set up to make sure is that we're presenting the product properly, we're presenting it ethically, and we're really doing it in a educational manner. And I think personally, I just think really if you just follow our system, if you follow the system to its fullest, that you will succeed with and plug into the coaching and the mentoring that we provide, and that you have consistent lead flow. And that's one of the most important things is that I'll just tell you right now is that whether you like it or not, final expense is a lead driven business. I don't like purchasing leads any more than anybody else. Okay. But when I consider like what's the alternative? Cold calling? Going out and canvassing neighborhoods? I don't want to do that. How about you, Michael?
No, not at all. At
That,
the end of the day, this business comes down to activity. And the IPA, the income producing activity, and prospecting is not that. It's sitting kneecap to kneecap with the client. And that's what Senior Solutions provides.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, guys, at the end of the day, we'll get this call wrapped up, and I'm glad we're wrapping up a little bit early. We got I know with my family, got a really super busy weekend. But at the end of the day, I hope that it's hitting home is that what we do works. We're in a phenomenal market. You can't ask for a better market. I mean, virtually, we have an endless supply of people. We talk about the baby boomers, right? The 10,500 turning 65. Guys, forget about the baby boomers. We're the right behind the baby boomers, you got the Gen X's. Guys, we are never, ever going to run out of prospects when it comes to final expense. And one of the biggest attraction factors it was for me for the final expense market, it was the overwhelming size of the market. Is that I knew that no matter what was going to happen, is that I was never ever ever going to run out of prospects because our prospects and the leads that we generate are not predicated based on the state of the economy. And when you look at other products like mortgage protection, which is an awesome product, but what's it predicated on? It's predicated on new loan originations, which has its ups and downs. If the in the mortgage protection industry is not always going to be good, and there's going to be certain areas of the country that just they're not building houses, they're not refinancing. But I promise you, you take me to virtually any county in the United States, and I can produce you final expense leads, regardless. Okay, that's the power of what we have.
Yeah.
Is basically an endless well, an endless supply of qualified clients that are in desperate need of high quality financial products. Because the one thing I will tell you that the one thing that all of our clients have in common is this one thing, is that they just want to make sure is that when they pass away, they're not leaving their family with a financial burden.
Mhm.
And I think if you can get really passionate about that one thing, about putting people in a better place than when you found them, and know is that in general terms is that our clients are good, hardworking people, and they don't want to do that to their family. Guys, if you can get passionate about that and know that you're doing the right thing, I know for sure that you can succeed in this business, provided you have the right work ethic and you don't give up. That's the key. You cannot give up. Michael, anything you'd like to add? And I'd like for you to end us with some your final thoughts, and then if you would go ahead and wrap the call up for you.
You got it.
Or for
Ladies
us.
and gentlemen,
Sorry.
now as I approach 50, I think, Joe, you're maybe just a tad bit older than me. I found out something about life, and that is that life is all about timing. Joe, I was just in Omaha, Nebraska, beautiful Midwestern town. And as we all know, Omaha is the home of the Oracle of Omaha, Mr. Warren Buffett himself. They say he actually walks around town just like an average Joe, still drives an old clunker car, lives in a normal neighborhood. And really, Joe, Warren Buffett says that most people in life get 2 to 3 times to hit a home run. As Joe is going to stress to you on his phone right here, ladies and gentlemen, that time for you is now. Final expense is that home run. The baby boomers are here. Every industry in America has been affected by the baby boomers, and now they're all in the low to low middle income, and now they're coming into their senior years. Is daytime work, as we didn't say, Joe. You know, these people don't really want to see you at nighttime, but they'll see you from 7 in the morning, ladies and gentlemen, to about 6 or 6:30 at night. So this is the right time for you. We've all heard the old question, would you rather be smart or would you rather be at the right place at the right time? I like the answer. I'd like to be both of them, but obviously I'd probably rather be at the right place at the right time. Ladies and gentlemen, you're at the right place at the right time. Now the decision is yours. You have the best platform in the industry, the Senior Solutions platform, which has launched, Joe, I would say probably more successful final expense agents than any other platform out there. But the decision is yours, ladies and gentlemen. Are you going to commit? Are you going to sort of be like Napoleon when he used to go to war, Joe, and he would burn his ship so he couldn't go backwards? I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, if you commit to the Senior Solutions platform, we will commit back to you. Because again, you're in business for yourself, but not just by yourself. We'll be with you every step of the way. Thank you, Mr. Joe Johnson up in Chicago. I'm in Atlanta. We want to tell everybody thank you throughout the Senior Solutions Nation. Throughout this great country of yours, that you have a great weekend. We believe in you, believe in yourself, and get your why together this week, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe this is the time for you just to take a legal pad, either find a quiet place at your home. Maybe you have a lot of children. You need to go to the local Starbucks or Panera Bread. Sit down and write down what's important to you. Write down your why, because when you have a strong enough why, any what is possible. And I promise you, Senior Solutions, if that what is final expense, we have the best platform in the industry to launch your business. Back over to you, Jack.
Thanks, Michael. All right, guys, everybody have a great weekend. Michael, I sincerely appreciate your friendship and your contribution today.
It was a pleasure, my friend.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Take care. God bless.